Preston Grammons. I am one of the co-founders at a nonprofit here in the Twin Cities called Applied AI. And we do conferences, we do monthly meetups, I do a podcast, a newsletter, all of those things. And so this is my first video in a series that I plan to be doing that really focuses more on the newsletter, right? So I have weekly news. This area of artificial intelligence is just really taking off. And so every week, been publishing a newsletter. We're up to issue 173, and I'm trying something new here. I'm going to be recording videos along the way. Should be 3 to 5 minutes or so, kind of reviewing what's going on in the week, not only for myself or for Applied AI, but also really interesting articles that I've curated and found on the internet over the past 7 days that I'd like to share with you all. And very curious to see what people say in the comments. And I hope that this is just another medium or a way in which we can engage with each other around this fascinating world of artificial intelligence. So thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. So like I say, this is the first episode. And we'll be talking about, so everything that I'm going to talk about here today is actually on appliedaiweekly.com. And as I said, that's a newsletter that gets published. I will share a little bit about myself and what's going on here, and then we'll dive into the articles. So at appliedaiweekly.com, you can actually sign up for the newsletter, have it delivered to your inbox. That would be awesome. So then you don't need to continually come back to the website. But what we have going on this week is I'm super excited to let people know that we have a spring conference. Our spring conference is being launched on May 10th. If you go to appliedaiconf.com, that's appliedaiconf.com, you can buy tickets, or you can also submit a proposal for a presentation topic that you would like to give. So we have that open for another 3 weeks or so, and then after that point we will do speaker selection, and we expect to have about 220 people or so. We've been doing this for the past this will be our fifth conference, actually. We've been doing them every 6 months, so we've been doing this for a number of years, and really excited to continue to do this. We'll do it in the spring, and we'll do it again in the fall. And for those that might be watching, it's in person. It's at a place called Scouts. It's here in the Twin Cities. So if you're at anywhere around Minneapolis, St. Paul area, there won't be a way to view it online. So we're just keeping it small, intimate, in person, about 220 people or so, like I said. And it'll be a blast. It's just been such an amazing event. I also have another thing that I'm doing this next Thursday on February 8th. It's with an organization called Club E, and myself and another person from the Applied AI community, Donna Herbal, are going to be just fielding questions. We're going to do a completely open Q&A. People bring any questions that they want ahead of time and just sort of rapid fire shoot them at us. So this is going to be very casual, and you get lunch is provided as well. This is not a free event, but there's lunch, and then this is an awesome networking opportunity to meet with entrepreneurs, business leaders, just some really awesome people. I've been going to Club E events for a number of years now, and just found it fabulous. So February 8th, the topic is going to be all about artificial intelligence, and so I'm super excited to be there and sort of taking the stage with Donna, and Rick Brimacombe is going to be the person that runs the events. Also, speaking of events, if you don't know, we actually have a meetup. You can check us out at appliedai.mn. And again, all these links are on the appliedaiweekly.com website. But we have a number of events coming up on the first Thursday of the month. We'll be talking about software and architecture. We'll be talking about legal issues. We'll be talking about project management. Healthcare, of course, is always a big thing. So it's just a fabulous community. We have more than 3,200 people. So check out appliedai.mn. And then the other thing that I do is I have a podcast, and you can go to podcast.appliedai.mn to check that out. I release episodes every 2 weeks, so please go there and subscribe and like all the things. That would be phenomenal. This past week I talked with Jenny Zhang, and we talked about how people can use, if you're a creator or an influencer, how can you use artificial intelligence. So that's all of that's going on sort of in my world here. Let's dive into the articles here. So as we take a look at, I guess, and again, this is just a subset. These are articles that I find are very interesting that can be curated. And I usually release about 10 to 12 articles or so. I try and keep it pretty small and manageable. And there was a really interesting article around AR and VR. It was actually put out by BBC. And it really talked about using VR for office meetings, right? And that typical knowledge workers, they kind of miss that interaction or that interactivity with other employees. So bringing virtual reality or augmented reality into this sphere, they're offering software and solutions to sort of help businesses do that. So really, really interesting. It's kind of the future of the office, right? You maybe won't be in person. You won't be virtual through a flat screen. You might actually be experiencing the office together through a AR or VR experience. If you didn't hear, there was a deepfake porn thing that came out from Taylor Swift. I have a link off again at Applied AI or appliedaiweekly.com. This just signals a number of things that are going to be happening this year. I've been talking about this for quite some time, that it's really, really easy for anyone, any bad actors, to create deepfakes. Of course, it happened in this particular case this past week. I pulled the article from USA Today about it. You can, again, check out the website. But I think, this incident, as I said, could be a pivotal moment in addressing the seriousness of deepfakes in our society, especially around, elections, this being an election year. So I have an interesting article around the top 15 AI products of 2023 from a publication called Product Hunt. So I won't go into all the details on that. There's some really, really cool stuff. So again, follow the links that are on appliedaiweekly.com. Interesting around the Google Chrome browser, right? They're actually going to be adding in more and more tools, AI tools, to assist users in writing confidently on the web. I think this is going to be really interesting because you have companies like Grammarly that are already doing this in that space. So I'm not saying this spells the end for them, but more and more of this AI is going to be built into your chatbot or your chat box or your the website that you go and visit. As you are typing things, there will be, at least this is what Google's planning, is in their Chrome browser, sort of some of this technology already built in. So I know Grammarly has a very kind of a different angle, and I personally feel like they can actually carve out their own separate space. But that news came from the New York Mag, and they're talking about Google kind of making their Chrome browser be a little bit more AI powered. New York Times, they are assembling a team to experiment with AI in journalism. This was an interesting article from The Verge. I mean, they want to emphasize that human journalists will continue to lead content creation, but they have always been very, 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 I guess in some ways, in a lot of ways, I guess, leery of AI kind of actually taking not only their expertise, but also ingesting their articles, right? There was actually been a number of lawsuits that are happening right now with the New York Times against companies like OpenAI because they've been able to, kind of show in some ways that their sites were scraped to get content and actually have articles that were generated, what they say actually down to the exact words. Now, I think you can tune a large language model to sort of make that happen, but out of the box, my feeling is yes, they used the spirit of all of the content from the New York Times, but it actually was kind of original work. But that's just my view of the world. But this is an interesting thing where they're basically talking about, okay, we're going to think about how we use AI in journalism as what is largely a very old company, right? They've kind of been doing it this way or their way for maybe a century or so. I don't know. They've just been around for a long time. So it really, in my opinion, sort of signals the change that AI is bringing to all industries, right? No matter what industry you're in, it's going to be tapped and changed forever, I think, by this new AI technology. I have an article here on the future of work. I mean, this is a constant theme that I'm always speaking on. In fact, I just spoke to a class of MBA students at John Carroll University earlier this week, and a lot of it was around the future of work. So I have a Wired article here that you should go and take a look at. It talks about sort of the change that happened in the 1990s with the internet, and that people needed to sort of embrace this new technology, start using it. This is happening right now. People need to start embracing and using this new technology. It's that big of a shift that is already sort of here. And having been somebody who's lived through the internet boom, it was such an amazing time, I think, and I'm super excited to see all this new technology that's coming out around artificial intelligence. Again, like I say, it's going to have just as big of an impact on every business going forward. So they really, this article in Wired really talks a lot about people needing to sort of upskill themselves, right, and sort of adapt to these new changes. A number of updates from OpenAI. They have some new AI models coming out. They have pricing and stuff for people to use GPT 3.5 Turbo. Those prices have gone down, and now they have GPT 4B, I guess, that basically allows you to do vision, which is really neat. I've been playing around a little bit with it. I uploaded some images of an existing icon that I already use on the Applied AI Weekly News website, and I asked it to generate me some alternatives, right? So again, it took the same sort of color combination that was there and was able to generate me a number of different variations on my logo and some icons. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, this thing is able to, if you haven't taken a look at Google's Gemini, they have a really, really interesting video there that kind of shows that it's able to take a look at video and sort of start to understand what's happening in the video and actually perform some logical explanations of what's happening. It's really, really fascinating how fast sort of this idea of sort of putting large language models on top of video is happening. So that's really sort of what I wanted to cover today. I didn't cover all of the articles here, so absolutely, please go to appliedaiweekly.com and take a look at all of the articles that are there. While you're there, please subscribe, and I'll be publishing this every week, and I look forward to continuing to engage with you. And if you have any comments, please post them below. And again, like I say, I'll be back here next week giving you the updates in terms of what's going on with artificial intelligence and how I'm sort of curating this into some coherent themes that I'm really, really excited to explore with you all.